Hello everyone and welcome back to the Roller Coaster Maniac channel. Today I will be breaking down all of the roller coasters and ranking them at Six Flags Great America. Let's begin. Starting off at number 15 is Little Dipper. Little Dipper is a PTC wooden coaster that made its start at Kiddieland. It is defunct, that's why it's now at Great America. Its plot of land was used for a Costco. I don't really think it should have been used for that, but okay. The roller coaster itself is nothing to write home about. It's a little family ride, like I said. Couple airtime moments that are very mild, and a couple lateral jolts. It's pretty janky, pretty old, nothing to write home about, like I've said, but it's a good stepping stone coaster if you're afraid of the big rides. At number 15, we have Sprocket Rockets. Sprocket Rockets is in a pretty location right next to Goliath. It's a pretty mild ride, nothing too crazy. It gets the job done for a family ride at Great America. It could be classified as a kiddie coaster, but I clearly don't because it pulls some nice positive G's. So, moving on, we have Joker, an SNS 40 free spin. That is pretty okay if you don't get it to flip, but if you do get it to flip, it is absolutely insane. Probably one of the better rides in the park, but since it's so temperamental, I am putting it at this spot. Number 14 is Superman Ultimate Flight, a B&M flyer. You may be asking, why is Superman so low? And my thing is that it doesn't really do much besides the pretzel loop and the 0G roll at the end. It is a fine ride for what it does, but it is definitely not as good as some of the other rides in this park. And by the way, this park is absolutely stacked with rides. Yes, it doesn't have an elite coaster, but a lot of these roller coasters are really hard to rank. So, next is Demon. Demon is an aero looper that opened with the park in 1976. It was built by Aerodynamics and is a very fun ride. It has great ejector if you're sitting in the back on the first drop, and the other parts of the ride are not lackluster, including the 2 forceful vertical loops and the 2 photogenic corkscrews at the end. The helix is just basically trying to get you to the brake run, but still, it's a fine ending to the ride. Just cracking the top 10 is the Flash Vertical Velocity, formerly V2. It is an intimate impulse located in DC Universe, which gives a pretty location right in the center of the park. When pulling up, it is probably one of the main pieces of the skyline that you will see. The McDonald's color scheme is very cheesy, but yet very pretty. It's hard to explain, especially when you're right over the water at the former Al Capone's restaurant. I forget what it's called now, but it's a nice ride to look at while you're eating at that place, and also the DC Universe area itself is very pretty. After the overhaul in 2021, it really helped this ride skyrocket just because of the surrounding area that it's in. Next is Amer American Eagle is an Intamin wooden coaster, and it is very fun in the front or back. It is janky, it is rough, but what it does is very fun. And I just really love the ride. Next is Batman the Ride. Wow, very nice name for a very cloned ride, which is actually, this run is the original. And that really doesn't change much because it is at number 8. For this lineup, it is a pretty good spot to be in, but it's really nothing special. It does pull a lot of G's, and it has a lot of snap in the back row. At number 7, we have the Wizer, one of my personal favorite rides ever, really, because of how much sentimental value it has. This was my first ever Illinois roller coaster that I've ridden outside of a fair, and I fell in love with it, and it just holds so much sentimental value. It's very scenic, it's very classic. It's a Schwarzkopf speed racer, so it's a pretty rare credit, and I just really love this ride. Up next is the overhyped and overrated Viper at number 5. It's still up pretty high, but it's still very overrated in my opinion. Nothing really much going on besides floater airtime. And I love aggressive rides, so it's not my type, but if you're into laterals and floater airtime that is kinda sustained if you're towards the middle or front of the train, this ride's for you. It's not very intense, but it does what it does. Next is the Wing Coaster XFlight. XFlight is an absolutely fantastic roller coaster. It is a part of the Big Four, which you should be able to tell and kind of make out what the Big Four is. XFlight is the most photogenic roller coaster in this park. It goes over its own queue line. It basically is its own thing in the county fair section. If it does have the B&M dive right in the area that is with the go-karts, it will have a great area that it will be in. Next is the hypercoaster Raging Bull. Raging Bull is one of my favorite hypercoasters ever. It is so fun in the back row, yet the turnarounds don't do anything for me, but it does what it does so well. I need you guys to ride this and Goliath. Goliath is an intense roller coaster, and it is the first zero-G stall in the world. This is a very underrated roller coaster, and it is in my top 10, yet I haven't ridden any, like a lot of roller coasters, but still, it is a fantastic ride. And the final number one ride is Max Force. Max Force is so intense, so good. The launch is absolutely fantastic. And if you guys don't have it at number one, you guys just don't have good taste. I'm just kidding. Goliath is also a really good ride if you have that at number one, or Raging Bull. I don't blame you at all. But Max Force, so good. I just need you guys to listen to the screams of the people on this ride. That's how good it is.